All right, in this video, we are going to take a look at how to manage your tabs and how to manage bookmarks when you are in Chrome. So Chrome, like most modern browsers, allows you to browse using tabs, which means I can have multiple websites open at any one time. So right now I just have this window open. I have one tab open. If I were to close this one tab, it's the same thing as closing this X up at the top. I'm going to close this entire Chrome window. But you can see I can have multiple tabs by clicking on this plus sign, and it's going to load a new tab. And essentially I can have as many websites as I want open at the same time. I'm going to open a few things here. Okay, so as you can see here, I have one tab that has Canvas open. I have one tab that has my Google Drive open. And I have one tab with PowerSchool. Clicking on the X in any one of these tabs will simply close that website. So if I click on the X next to Drive, you'll see that tab disappears. One of my favorite tricks, because it is easy to close a tab without meaning to, is the keyboard shortcut Control-Shift-T. And what Control-Shift-T does, as you'll see, is it opens up the last tab that I closed. And you can do this multiple times. So if you accidentally close 3 tabs, you can do Control-Shift-T 3 times, and it will open the last 3 tabs that you closed. Super helpful. Another tab trick that I like to use is I like to pin tabs. And what pinning a tab does is it removes the X, so I can't close it. So let's say I want these 3 websites to be pinned. I'm just going to come up here to the tab. I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to select Pin Tab. And you'll see what happens is this tab gets really small and there's no longer an X. So I can't accidentally close out of it. I can do the same for Drive, and I can do the same for PowerSchool. So I don't see the names of those tabs anymore, but I do see the icon, and I can't close out of them. If I did want to close a pin tab, I would just right click and unpin it, and now I have the full tab with the X. Pinning tabs is great for the websites that you use all the time. I'll show you what my normal screen looks like, and you'll see I tend to have a lot of tabs open. I know it's a problem. And I'm sorry for those of you that are freaking out seeing all those tabs, but that's just how I work. So I have, I know it's kind of hard to tell because I have so many open, but these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tabs are the ones that I have pinned. So they're going to stay open at all times, and they're what opens when I open Chrome in the morning, regardless of all of these other tabs here. So now that we've pinned these tabs, I of course can continue to open other websites just by clicking the New Tab button. And let's say that I have a website that I want to bookmark. So again, looking at my Chrome screen, this bottom row of icons and folders are all of my bookmarks. A lot of people will ask about these little icons up here. Those are extensions, and we will talk about those in the Apps and Extensions module. But for right now, we're just going to focus on bookmarks. So I have some that are just little icons, and I have some that are folders, and those folders contain additional bookmarks. It's just how I like to organize my life. So if I wanted to bookmark, let's say, PowerSchool. So let's say I'm going to bookmark the Power Teacher website. So I have the Power Teacher website pulled up here, and you'll notice there's a little tiny lock icon just to the left of the URL. So to me, the easiest way to make a bookmark is to click and hold on that lock icon, and I'm going to drag the bookmark down. Now you'll notice there's a little plus sign underneath my cursor, and you can see there's a black line sort of hovering behind in my Bookmarks bar. And wherever that black line is, when I let go of my mouse button, now that bookmark is there. you'll notice a lot of mine are just icons. They don't have the description of the website that I'm bookmarking. And that's another trick that I like to use so I can have a lot more room in my Bookmarks bar to hold a lot more icons. So to do that, I'm going to right click on my bookmark that I just made, and I'm going to come down and I'm going to choose Edit. And then I get this pop-up window that will let me change the name, so I could make it initials, I could make it shorter. And so now it's just that PT, because you'll see I do have a PowerSchool folder and I have multiple PowerSchool websites that are saved. They all have the same icon, so unless I give them initials, it's really hard to tell the difference. But if you're just bookmarking the website once, we can come in and edit, and I can just delete the name of the bookmark and hit save. And now you'll see it's just an icon. So you can fit lots more bookmarks up here in your Bookmarks bar. Now, you might be watching this video and saying, I don't see a Bookmarks bar. All I see is the URL, or the Omnibox is what Google calls this, because you can search from it. It's a URL. There's lots of things you can do. So if you don't see your Bookmarks bar, you're going to come over here to the three-dot menu. Call this the stoplight or the snowman, the hot dog ends. There's all kinds of names for it. And I'm going to come down and hover over the Bookmarks menu. And then I'm going to make sure that the Show Bookmarks bar is checked. So here's what it will look like if you're not showing your bookmarks. And then Bookmarks, Show Bookmarks bar. So there you go. So now I can see my bookmarks. I can add, if I want to get rid of a bookmark, it's as simple as right click and delete. And then if you're interested in creating these bookmark folders, I don't know if you saw, so if I come over here to some white space on my bookmark and I right click and I can say add folder, give it a name, new links, it's going to add it all the way down to the end of this list. You'll see I have additional bookmarks because of course I do, but I can click and drag on that folder and bring it up here. And then to add links to this folder, there's a couple of ways to do it. Again, to me the easiest is to click on this little star. This is the other way to make a bookmark. You can just click on the star in the URL, and now you can see by default it's going to add it to the folder Bookmarks bar, which is this whole bar back here. Kind of acts as its own folder. But then I could add it to my folder that I just created. New links, and done. And now in my folder there's the bookmark for Power Teacher, and I can of course go in here and edit if I wanted to. And do the same thing. So that is adding bookmarks and managing your tabs.